Hello. So I'm just going to do a class that I've been doing this week in my public classes, which I really enjoy. It's got some good stuff in it. Hopefully you enjoy it. It's condensed down to 30 minutes, so it's not going to be the full class. If you want to see the full class, come on to one of my classes. There you go. Okay, going to start on our mats in child. So come down nice and gently. And of course, anytime this is too much for you, you want to take some time out, that's fine. Be compassionate with your body. Don't force anything. Yoga is all about feeling your body, feeling how you feel. So sit back onto your hips with your knees out to the edges of the mat. Let your forehead come to the floor, let your chest come to the floor. Taking a few deep breaths into your belly. So allow the diaphragm to push down into your tummy. Your belly pushes down to the floor. There's no holding anything in here. Let's just let it all go. Let's feel that expanse as the diaphragm pushes into your core. As you breathe out, sit back into the hips. You feel that nice, glorious stretch through your spine, through your shoulder complex, letting the forehead come to the floor, inching your fingers to the top corners of the mat, getting some length through your arms here, and breathing again into the belly, really feeling that. And take it as long as you want here, just to feel that sense of grounding. Really feeling the body move, checking in with yourself. How do you feel today? You got any tightness, any aches, any pains? We're always carrying something in our bodies which is not quite right. So just connect with your body, your feelings. And how's your head? What's occupying your mind? What have you been ruminating? What's troubling? What's concerning you? Being aware, but being also realistic. You can't solve it in this yoga practice, so let it go for the next 30 minutes. Just feel how you feel. Okay, come up onto your knees, then bring your knees hip width apart. Just start circling your pelvis. Let's get some movement into those hip joints, one way and the other way. And then a couple of cat-cows. Get the spine moving. Breath in, tummy down. Head lifts, tailbone goes back. Breath out, round your spine. Drop your head, pull your belly button in. You know it. This is really good movement for your spine. Okay, so we're going to go into a downward dog. Tucking your toes in, walk your hands a little bit further forward, quite open with the fingers. Sit the hips back, push into the mat with the toes. Start to straighten your legs out as you lower the chest down. Look back at your feet. Let your feet start bending, your ankles start bending, stretching out through the backs of the legs, pedaling through the legs here. Okay. And then come up onto your toes, heels high, bend the knees. Really nice way to stretch out parts of your body. Look up between the hands, bend your knees, walk slowly to the top of the mat. So bent knee forward, bend, let the arms dangle, pull the tummy button in, let the head, neck be soft, hanging here, dangling, feeling the effect of gravity. And then keeping your belly pulled in here, protect that lumbar spine. Slowly roll up to an upright position. As you come upright, roll the shoulders back, let the blood sink out of the neck. Inhale, the hands up. Tall mountain on the exhale, bend the knees, float the hands down onto your shins. Ready for a breath into half lift. As you straighten the legs, lift the chest up, look forwards. Breath out, bend the knees, hands come to the floor. Walk the feet all the way back to the back of the mat and inhale the shoulders forwards into a high press up plank position. Breath out, knees, chest, chin to the floor, elbows tuck into the rib cage. And breath in, pull back on the palms of the hands as you peel the chest forwards and away from the mat into cobra. Breath out down to the floor. Breath in up onto your knees, tucking your toes in. And slow breath out as you push into the mat, lift into your downward dog. Inhale through to a plank. Shoulders on top of wrists. Exhale, downward dog. Walking hands to the back of the mat this time, bending the knees as you come all the way to the back of the mat. Let the arms dangle, pull the belly button in, tuck the chin in, slowly roll up to a standing position, rolling the shoulders back, inhaling the arms out nice and wide, and then lift the left foot up. Step the left foot forwards as the foot grounds down, plants down, turn the right foot out to the side, take your hands into the small of the back. Breath in, lift the chest up, legs straight now, breath out, gentle forward bend, and then inhale back up again. Okay, next exhale, come forward and hold static as you lift the sit bone up, finding that tension in the back of your left leg, looking down at the floor or looking straight ahead, but keeping the back quite flat here. Take a breath, soften through the left thigh, the left knee. Feel that sense of stress, tension in your front leg, but being okay with it because you're breathing nice and softly. Okay, bring your hands to your chest now. Weight goes into that front leg as you bend the knee and then step up into a balance here on that front foot. Okay, once you've got the balance, slowly come upwards, drawing the arms out to the side if it's there for you. And then the knee comes up, floating the right knee, the right leg forwards as it lands down. Turn the left foot out. Take the hands behind the back. Breath in. Exhale, gliding forwards. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, gliding forwards and hold. Flatten the back, looking forwards. Tension in that hamstring. Breathe in and release that tension and the contraction. Good. Bring your hands to your chest, bending through the front knee, lift the back heel up, find a balance here. Draw the arms out nice and wide, come forwards and through into standing start at the top of your mat. On the breath out, foot to the floor, hands come down. Breath in, lift up, bend the knees, exhale down onto your shins. Breath in, half lift, chest lifts, legs straighten. Breath out, forward fold, and then bending the knees and plant the hands on the floor. Walking the feet all the way back to downward dog, and inhale through to plank. Exhale to the floor, knees, chest, chin. Inhale into cobra. Exhale to the floor. Push up onto your knees, tuck your toes in, send your hips back, and breath out into downward dog. Inhale the left leg nice and high, three-legged dog. Exhale, taking the knee down the middle to your nose and take your nose towards your knee as you round through the spine. Breath in, lift up, three-legged dog. Breath out to the floor. Next breath in, right leg lifts, three-legged dog. And as you exhale, knee to nose, nose to knee, rounded through the spine. Breath in, lift up, three-legged dog. Breath out to the floor. Dropping the right knee to the floor. Ground the left heel down. Inhale, take the left arm up. Exhale forwards. Then inhale back. As it comes forwards on the exhale, weight goes into that front arm as you lift that left leg off of the mat. You stay here in a balance where you can breath in and then you can exhale for a crunch or two. Okay, breath in here, exhale back to tabletop, straightening out the right leg, tuck the right toes in, ground the right heel down. Inhale, the right hand up. Exhale, take it forwards. Inhale it back up. Exhale forwards, and maybe you float that right foot off of the mat. Find a balance here on this side, might be a bit more easier or trickier. Breath in here if you want to crunch. Breath out, crunch. Breath in, lengthen. Maybe another. And then back to tabletop. Rolling the hips around. And then the other way. Tuck the toes in. Push up into downward dog. Look back at your ankles. Pushing the heels down a little bit further this time as we start getting into it. Look up between the hands, bend the knees, and on your toes, step walk, or maybe a little hop jump to the top of the mat. Keeping the hips going down, bend the knees. Knees are hip width apart. Inhale the hands away from the floor and up in front of you into chair. Reaching up, looking up, feeling strong, feeling grounded. Drawing the knees back so you can see your toes in front of your knees and reaching up with the fingers to counterbalance. Okay, weight goes into your right foot. Okay, lean into your right foot. Slowly sweep the left arm down, keeping the right arm raised. As the left arm comes to point for the floor, lift the left foot up and take the left foot and the left arm back. Reach forwards with the right hand for a balance here. Then step the left foot back onto the ball of the feet. Heel is lifted. Sweep the right hand back so the arms are swept back in lunge. Inhale, lift up into a high lunge. And then exhale a lunge dip, bending the knees, floating the hands down. Inhale, lift up. And then a lunge twist to the right as you turn towards the right knee, taking the arms out horizontal. And breath in, lift up. Ground the back heel, breath out for warrior two. And breath in, reverse warrior. Breath out, warrior two, lean forwards. And side angle, forearm on thigh, or left arm over the top. Breath in here as you reach and lengthen and extend. Breath out, take the hand to the floor. Breath in, lift all the way back and up and almost reverse warrior, but keep that left arm going into the small of the back, palm faces away. Right hand comes over the top for peaceful warrior. Taking a couple of breaths here, feeling the grounding, feeling the tension, feeling the dynamics of this posture as the ribs start to open, and breathe into that space. Breath in here. On an exhale, big transition to half moon. So come all the way up, keeping the hand in the small of the back, reach forwards, lean forwards, hand maybe fingertips come to the floor. When you've got the fingertips there, maybe a couple of little steps here, lift that left leg up, half moon, turning the ankle or flexing the ankle and the toes away, lift the left hand up, turn and look up if the balance is there for you. Half moon, taking a few breaths here. And a look down at the floor, taking the left hand to the floor, standing split, breath in. On an exhale, bring the left knee towards the back of the calf, the knee, standing one leg squat, breath in, take up, standing split. Breath out, floating that left foot back to the floor. Push into the mat with the hands, step back into downward dog, pedal the legs out here, get the hip moving, inhale through to plank. Exhale to the floor, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, fall forward through and up into cobra. Breath out to the floor. Breath in, push up onto your knees, tuck your toes in, sit the hips back. Breath out, downward dog. Taking a couple of breaths here, lowering in, feeling that tension, feeling the grounding, pressing into the base of the thumbs, the fleshy parts of the base of the thumbs, turning the elbow creases forwards. Look up between the hands, bend the knees on your toes, walk, step, hop or jump to the top of the mat. Drop the hips down, draw the knees back, pull the belly button in. Inhale the arms out nice and wide to the side and lift up into chair. Reaching up, drawing the knees back. Feel the weight going onto the heels. Now the weight goes into your left foot. Lean onto your left foot. Slowly take the right hand to the floor. As it reaches to the floor, lift the right leg up. Reach forward with the left hand as you take the right hand, the right foot back to find this balance here. And then floating the ball of the right foot to the floor. And then sweep the left arm back so the arms are swept back in lunge. Inhale, lift up, high lunge. Exhale, lunge dip as you bend the knees, float the arms out to the side. Inhale, lift up. Lunge twist to the left, turning through the shoulders, taking the arms horizontal and reaching as far apart as you can with your hands. Okay. Breath in, turn to the front, high lunge. Ground the back heel, warrior two, push into the back edge of that right heel as you float the hands down. And breathe. And then lift up, reverse warrior. Going for height here. Breath out, come back to warrior, lean forwards a little bit, side angle, forearm on thigh or the hand on the inside as you draw that right arm up and forwards, taking a few big breaths here into the right side of the ribs. Pull your belly button in. Slowly windmill all the way back, bringing that right hand into the small of the back, palm faces away, lifting the left hand up, breathing into the left side of the rib cage now. Breath in. On the exhale, come upright. Transition for half moon, nice and slowly. Reaching forwards, lifting that back heel up, bending through the front knee. Fingertips come towards the floor. Maybe step up onto that left leg as you lift the right leg up. Take the heel, toes out to the side, looking down at the floor. Take the right hand up. Turn and look up if you've got the balance.
Breath in here. As you exhale, bring the right hand to the floor. Breath in on an exhale, one leg squat as you bend through that grounding leg. And then breath in, lift up. Well done. Floating that right foot all the way to the back of the mat, hands to the floor, low lunge, step back into downward dog. Inhale through to plank. Okay, you can take a knee to the floor, or you can roll onto the outer edge of your right foot. Feet are stacked or one foot in front of the other. Round through the right hand, a side plank. Breath in here. You stay here on an exhale. You could take a little sweep of the hand under and back behind you. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hand to the floor. Roll all the way onto the other side. You can stack your ankles or one foot in front of the other, or even drop your knee. Make any option that works for you. If you want, breath in here. And on an exhale, have a really good grounding. Reach down with that right hand all the way through and back. And come all the way back up again. Breath out back to plank. Okay, knees, chest, chin to the floor. Ready for locust, arms down the side of the body. Inhale the legs, the chest, the arms go down the side, look down at the floor. Keeping the breath nice and steady here. Try not to get too emotional in these postures. So we use the breath. Nice, calming breath. And release to the floor, hands either side of the rib cage. Push up onto your knees. Take your hips backwards into child to stretch out, lengthen through the spine. Breath in and out. And then lift up into downward, into tabletop. Tuck the toes in and lift into downward dog. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to go three-legged dog, knee to nose, but we're going to roll into wild thing. I'll talk that nice and slowly. So with a breath in, lift the left leg nice and high, three-legged dog. With a breath out, bring your left knee to your nose. Hold here. Roll onto the outer edge of your back foot, your right foot, and then step your left foot off the mat behind you onto the ball of the foot. Still grounded with your two hands and both feet. And then lift the left hand up, back, as you drive the hips forwards, open up through the front of the body. Really explode into this lovely wild thing posture. Breath in here. Exhale, the hand to the floor. And then lift all the way back up into three-legged dog. And then exhale that foot to the floor. Inhaling the right leg up nice and high, three-legged dog. Exhaling knee to nose, coming forwards, rounded through the spine. Roll onto the outer edge of your left foot, taking your right toes, ball of the foot behind you. When that's grounded, push up with your hips, lift the whole of the body upwards, explode into wild thing. Breath in, and then hand comes to the floor. Looking down at the floor, lift all the way back up, three-legged dog. And exhale the foot down. Inhale through to plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Take the hands behind the back this time. Interlace your fingers and lift up into a half locust as you drive the hands down. Give them that nice stretch or work going on through the lower back and a stretch through your pec minor muscle. Front of the chest. And release. Hands down either side of the ribs. Push up onto your knees. Counter pose in child. And then look up between the hands. Come up onto your knees. Tuck your toes in. Walk the hands backwards. Push the knees away. Come into a balance here with your knees together. If this is okay for you, find the balance. And then drop the hands to the floor. Taking the feet out to the edges of the mat, we're going to find a squat pose here. Draw your belly button in. Try not to stick the bum out. And then taking the hands behind you. Let's walk the feet forwards. Come down onto your bottoms. Grab hold of your knees. Roll down on your lumbar spine. Squeeze and release your knees a couple of times here, just to massage through the lower back. Hands behind your thighs. Back roll here. Up through the thoracic spine. And roll to boat. Come up to a boat pose here. Taking shoulders back, flatten your ribs, pull your belly button in, looking straight ahead. Maybe gapping your toes while you're here. Okay. Twisting boat. So take the legs one way and the arms the other way. Working your obliques. Taking a couple of breaths here. And come back and the other way. Come back, cross your ankles, come into a seated position here. So lifting up through the spine, hands on your chest. From here, take your hands down to the floor, push into the mat with straight arms, really grounded hands. Now you can try to lift your whole lower body off of the floor. If that's too much, try to lift pull your tummy button in, lift your tailbone up with your feet on the floor, okay? And then lean back behind your sit bones, reach the hands in front of you, float to boat, cross the ankles the other way this time, draw the heels in as you come into easy posture, lift the spine up, hands onto your chest. Again, ground down through the hands here. Try to draw your tailbone up off the floor. And then maybe the legs follow. Come back down. Well done. Easy posture. Lift up through the spine. Breath in. On an exhale, turn to the left. Position the left hand behind the spine. Right hand onto the knee. And twist through the spine here. And release. Uncross your legs, cross them the other way. Lift up through the spine. Turn to the right. Your right hand is there behind you to prop up the spine as you twist. Use that leverage to turn through your spine. And release. Straighten out your right leg with your left knee bent. Look over that right leg. Roll on the front of the pelvis. So you roll on the front of the sit bones. This toe is pulled back. Reach the hands high and forwards and drop the hands down on that leg. Draw the chest forwards. Looking for tension in the hamstring. Stay with the breath here. 4 or 5 breaths. Softening as you go. Extending your exhales. And nice, just a constriction of your throat. Nice Ujjayi ocean breath as you extend those exhales. Sending a wave of release across your body. And as you breathe out, go deeper forwards. So go further forwards into the posture, feeling that movement of your sit bones and that lengthening of your hamstrings. Slowly release out of that. And change over. So straighten out the left leg, bend the right knee. Turn, face your body over that straight left leg. Toes are pulling back. Reach up. Think about your sit bone coming forward. Your pelvis rotates forwards. Hands down on your leg. You can use the hands as a bind if you want. Drawing the chest forwards. Find that tension. And then it's all on the breath. Softening your right knee, your right hip. Like any sort of bind you want here. But it's really about that hamstring. And the fascia around that hamstring. And release. Okay, straighten out both legs now. Come into a wide leg position. So take the legs out quite wide. So tapping the knees and just loosen off through the hips. Lift the toes up.
Come forwards on the front of the sit bones. You're quite flat in the lower back here. Chest is quite high. Work the tension comes in around the groin and the adductors. Walk the hands forwards and lower as far as you can down to tension. Okay, not really hurting or straining your lower back. It's mostly in the legs. And then when you're here, 4 or 5 breaths again. Try to soften as you go. Nice, gentle Ujjayi ocean breath. Extending the exhales and sending that wave of release down into those parts of your body which are tense. It sounds quite odd, but you're effectively doing that with your body. Your brain's releasing chemicals and there's hormones and stuff washing around the blood, targeting those nerve receptors. They're starting to loosen off now. Effectively lengthening that tight fascia. Okay, when you come to the end of this, like 5 breaths, however long you want to stay in these postures when you're doing your own practice, just note how far you've come. Even with this just 5 breaths, note how far you've come forwards, how less uncomfortable it is. Okay, and then come back. That's your range of movement coming back. Draw your soles together and then hands on your ankles. A few little butterflies here just to get the hips moving. They've just been static for a period of time. So let's get some of that toxicity mobilized. Still breathing nice and slowly. And we roll down onto our backs, onto our lumbar spine, draw our knees into our chest. And carry on drawing your knees into your chest, but we've just done a couple of forward bends, so we can take a back bend in couple of forward bends. So we're going to take a back bend in a minute. Before we do that, one more forward bend. We're going to go plow. Drop your hands onto the floor, push your bottom off of the mat, catch your bottom, straighten your legs, keep your neck soft here. Okay, so it's coming into the shoulders and your elbows, your triceps, not the grounded down through the head. Really important. If you're pressuring in the neck, and come out of it. Now, this is a forward bend inversion. You can use gravity to draw the legs down. But again, be mindful of your neck. You've only one. So let's not spoil that, okay? So ground through your shoulders. Even the act of holding the body, the glutes here with the legs in front of you feels fairly innocuous, but it's actually working. It's an inversion. It's a gravity-assisted forward bend. It's nice and passive. So you really get that nice stretch through the lower back, as opposed to a seated forward bend where it's almost hard work. This is quite passive and it's really doing you the world of good, but keeping the pressure off the back of your head and off of your neck. Okay, I'm going to come out of this nice and slowly, support your glutes, bend your knees, roll your lower back down onto the floor, hug your knees, squeeze and release a couple of times here, and drop your feet to the floor. Head and shoulders come down the floor. Arms go out a little bit wider, a couple of pelvic rotations here. So as you breathe in, arch your lower back, push into the back floor with your pelvis. As you breathe out, flatten your lower back, pull your tummy button in. That nice forward, backward movement of your pelvis. Become familiar with that if it's unusual to you. And then what we're going to do is flatten our lower back into the floor, parallel our feet, push into the floor with our feet, pull our belly button in even tighter, push up into bridge. Weight goes onto your shoulders. Maybe lift your head, tuck your chin and lower your head, just don't compress into the neck. Keeping your knees parallel in bridge, taking a few breaths here, feeling that grounded, but being strong with your glutes and your lower back muscles and your quads. And up at your chest and your belly as you breathe. Enjoying this back bend. And lower down to the floor, keeping your navel pulled in. When your pelvis hits the floor, draw your knees up into your chest, squeeze and release your knees. Drop your feet to the edges of the mat. Take your hands out nice and wide. And then windscreen wiper your legs. So let the knees flop to the side a couple of times, and then engage the breath. So you inhale back to center, exhale down to the side. Inhale back to center, exhale down to the side. And then when you've got into that rhythm, turn your head in the opposite direction to your knees. So get that really nice movement through your spine.
Lovely way to loosen off after that last posture. And then turn and look up. Draw your knees in one more time. Squeeze your knees. Drop your feet to the floor. Inch your knees and your ankles together. Join the soles of your feet together. Let the knees flop to the side. Rest your hands on your belly. Tuck your chin in. Close your eyes. And this is super important. We're going to do some proper breathing. Okay, so with your hands on your belly, target your breath down into your diaphragm, your belly. So as you breathe in now, allow the belly and the lower ribs to expand. As you breathe out, you feel that release. So get comfortable with this style of breath. Close in your mouth, breathe in and out through the nose. Making any adjustments with your elbows, your hands, anything you need to find some comfort in this movement. Now, however you count seconds, it could be elephant, it could be Kodak, it could be anything. I do elephant, 1 elephant, 2 elephant. You should breathe the next breath in for 5 seconds and then follow with a breath out for 5 seconds. Carry on. When you come to the end of your next exhale, revert to the natural, normal breath, but keep your eyes closed. Keep breathing in and out through your nose. Maybe you can draw your knees together. Maybe you can straighten your legs and take your feet to the bottom corners of the mat. Probably take your hands away from the belly now and rest your hands on the floor. Allow the breath to happen naturally in and out through the nose. And feel a sense of grounding now as you release the body. There's nothing left to do but simply let go. Softening around your pelvic base and your pelvic floor, releasing any clenching of anything, particularly your perineum, which is that muscle between your genitals and your anus. Carry a lot of tension here, most of us. Soften your shoulders, soften your eyes and your jaw. Feeling the weight of your body now. Pressing into the floor. Feeling that sense of pressure and release. Feeling actually comfortable on this flat surface. As the joints now start to soften. You can feel some tingling maybe in your fingertips as the body adjusts to being still. And as it does, your mind will want to pick up those thoughts that it left at the start of the practice. And if it does, acknowledge those thoughts are still there. And simply come back to your breath. Follow your natural breath. You can stay here as long as you wish. Finish this video.
Thank you for doing a little bit of yoga with me. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully I'll see you for the fuller version in a public class sometime. Stay safe. Thank you.